Let me ask you a question. How do you start a business with nothing? I mean, really nothing. That is no money. A lot of people come to me and they say, Hannes, I've got no idea where to start. I've got no idea what business to start. What about if you've got no security? In other words, you can't go to the bank, or you do not know anyone that's going to stand surety for you. So, is it even possible to start a business with no money? The answer is actually very simple. The easiest way to do it is to start it the Wealth Creators way by applying the Rainmaker skill. And the good news is, because it's a skill, anyone can learn this. So in this lesson, I'm going to tell you more about the Rainmaker skill. Hi, it's Dr. Hannes Dreyer, founder of the Wealth Creators University, as well as the Rainmaker Startup Business. And over the last 10 years, I've used this skill to start 36 new profitable businesses without any money. So let me tell you the story how I learned about this skill and how it can benefit you. I think it was about in 95, 96, and I was an independent broker and a financial planner at that stage. In the beginning of that year, I did a financial planning for one of my friends, and at the end of the needs analysis phase, I asked James a question. I asked him what his goals were for the next year. So James said to me he wanted to become a senior manager. He was middle management and he knew that there was a promotion due. So he thought maybe that year was his year. And then also he said to me that he's going to start a business in his wife's name in order to make more money, to have a better standard of living. Then James asked me what my goals were for that year. And I said to him, I'm going to qualify again for $1 Million Round Table, quarter of the table and top of the table. These are accolades that you can get in the insurance field. And top of the table, as an example, is the top 1% of the top 1% in the world in dollar terms, in terms of commission production. I also said to him that I'm going to develop a block of an office block. I've never done that before, so that would be a first for me. I'm also going to visit 2 new countries that I've never been to, and I'm going to start a new business with no money, and from the profits of that business, I'm going to buy myself a red 850 12-cylinder BMW, and I'm going to buy it cash, right? So James said to me, well, that's a tall order, but in the beginning of November of that year, James phoned me and he said he's got the promotion and he wanted us to go through his financial planning, so that although the promotion was only due in January the next year, he wanted to get everything in order so that when the new year started, he knew exactly what to do and how much money to put aside and get maximum tax benefits and so forth. He didn't, by the way, started the business for his wife at that stage. So I met with him, I did his planning, and as he walked me to my car, he saw the red 850 BMW. And his first question, basically more like a statement, I see you bought a car. I said, yeah. And the next question was, how much are the monthly payments? I said to him, no, it's cash. And then something clicked and he said, did you start that business? I said to him, I actually started 2 new businesses without any money. And he said, what about the other goals? I said, well, we've been in 2 countries that we've never been before. I'm busy developing the office block. And in essence, I've already qualified for $1 Million Round Table, quarter of the table, as well as top of the table. But the qualification ends only in the 31st of December of that year. And this was in the beginning of November. And then he asked me a lot of questions about the car. So eventually I said to him, do you want to take it for a spin? And I handed him the keys. And as James got into the driver's seat, he looked at me and he said to me, Hannes, do you know that you're a rainmaker? Now, I've never heard this expression before, so I asked him what a rainmaker was. And he said to me, it's a person that knows how to take nothing, just an idea, a thought, a concept, and turn it into whatever he or she wants. That evening, I told my wife that I was a rainmaker, because I could see that I had this ability. I didn't know at that stage that it was a skill that I've learned over from 82 to approximately 95. So what on earth gives me the right to say that I'm a rainmaker and that I can teach other people this skill. Let me tell you, over the last 10 years, I've started 36 new profitable businesses. All of these businesses were profitable within the first month. And all of these businesses, I've applied the Wealth Creator strategy and the Rainmaker skill. Let me give you one or two more recent examples where I applied the skill. In the beginning of this year, I made a little video that I put on YouTube where I picked up 2 rocks on my farm, and I said that I will sell them for at least 2,500 for the one and 5,000 Rand for the other one. I sold them for 7,500 and 9,000 by applying, guess what? The Rainmaker skill. And I did it live in front of hundreds of people in Midrand, Cape Town, as well as in Durban. And there's even a little video that I've made where I sold one of the rocks in less than 18 seconds for 7,500 Rand. Let me ask you a question. Is there anyone that wants to buy this rock for 7,500 Rand? First person, go to get it. I'm giving you a minute. Let's give him a lucky hand of applause. Let me give you another example. My mother-in-law gave me 100 Rand as a Christmas present. I took the 100 Rand and I invested it in a business to prove that you can start a business with less than 100 Rand. In fact, it cost me nothing because it was a present that she gave me. I'm here with my mother-in-law. It's Tanya's mom, but apparently she's my mom as well. And I like to do this in English simply because the majority of my students are English and they're all over the world. So, Ma, you're going to be famous now. So you better be careful. I don't know if you remember, but you gave me this little present some time ago. Can you tell us a bit?
I can remember it.
What was it?
It was for Christmas and I didn't know what to give to you. So I decided on 100 Rand in a little bucket or just in a little thing.
Okay.
And I said you must make millions with it if you can. No, you can.
Okay,
you can.
Yeah, thank you for that confidence in me, that you know that I can. But what I've decided is, it's actually a year later and I almost forgot about this thing. But the other day Tanya said to me, what are you going to do with your mother's money? And I said, well, I've said to her, she said to me that I must start a business or multiply it by thousands. So I'm going to take this 100 Rand, deposit it, open a bank account, deposit it, and then I'm going to start a business, and the total amount that that business will cost me will be less than 100 Rand. So I'm going to give you feedback, and as soon as I get to the 10,000 I will let you know. When I get to the 100,000 I will let you know, and as soon as I get to the million I'll stick you for a trip to Mauritius. Will that be okay?
That would be fantastic.
Okay, thank you. Right, so now we've got it on a record.
Yeah.
And the current return on that investment is now about 3 months later, is more than 300,000%. Simply by applying the Rainmaker skill. So, what is this Rainmaker skill, and can anyone learn this skill and learn how to apply it in order to start a new business or get thousands of % on your investment? The answer to the first part of this question is that the Rainmaker skill is the ability to take nothing and convert it into whatever you want. In other words, whatever you dream of, if you've got this skill and you know how to apply it, you can get whatever you want. So, if you want a profitable business, as an example, you literally take nothing, apply the Rainmaker skill, and voila, you've got a profitable business. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're going to say to me, come on, honest, if it's that easy, why do I not even know about this skill? You see, it is not in the interest of the financial services industry for you to know about this skill. Let me ask you a question. Do you think for one moment, if you know how to get a growth of 1,000 or even 100,000% growth on your initial investment, that you'll ever invest with them again? If you know how to start a business with no money, would you ever go to the bank and pay interest on money that you borrow? And pledge your house as security and stuff like that, knowing that you stand a chance to lose it? Of course not. And guess what? They know it. But then, how are they going to make the kind of profits that they are making if no one borrows money from them? The answer is simple. Do not let the average, the middle class person knows that it is possible for them to start a business with no money. Do not let them know that it is possible to get 100,000% or even more on the initial investment. So how on earth do you keep this knowledge from them? You simply confabulate them. What does confabulate mean? It simply means that you're in a state of confabulation when you do not know that you don't know what you're supposed to know. You see, as long as we are confabulated by the financial system, we will not ask the right questions simply because we will not know what questions to ask. I see what you're thinking. This guy has lost it. But whatever you do, just stay with me. What process do they use to confabulate you? They tell you exactly the opposite of what they're doing. And then they spend billions on marketing and media to brainwash the masses, to keep them in a state of doing what everyone else is doing, thinking that it is okay to get 10% or 15% of their investment, or that they must go and borrow money, or that they must pledge their house as security when they start a house in order to get money, to make money. They say that it is easier to believe a lie that one has heard 1,000 times than to believe a fact that no one has heard it before. So, what do? They train an army of experts. They give them great degrees and they pay them great commissions to spread their lies. They tell us lies that, like, you need money to make money, or that you must take financial risk when you start a business, when the truth is that some of the richest people and organizations in the world were started with absolutely nothing but an idea, and its founders spent no capital or very little capital to start their empires. The founders simply apply the Rainmaker skill to start these businesses and grow it in billions. But then they tell you and me that we need money to start a business, with a catchphrase that they will give that money to us on condition that we've got security, and then they're going to charge us some interest as well. They tell us also that you cannot get more than 10 to 15%, and if you want to get 25%, you have to take massive amounts of risk, while they are making billions out of our ignorance. Now, I can see that some of you still do not believe me. Let's get more practical. Let's look at Old Mutual, one of the biggest financial institutions in South Africa. On their website, and I think they say our story, you can go and Google it, and I've got it here. I just want to quickly read it. It says, like most great stories, ours has a humble beginning. A Scotsman named John Fairbairn started the Mutual Life Insurance Company in Cape Town in 1845 with no capital. With no capital. Now, Mutual today is one of those success stories. I mean, Mutual, I think, perhaps is the biggest financial institution at the moment in South Africa. Right. What about Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world? Don't you think he started his business by applying the wealth creator strategy and the Rainmaker skill, and started with almost nothing out of his own pocket? Well, you can Google it, because I think it was in 1960, Warren Buffett contacted one of his partners who was a medical doctor, and he said to him to find 10 more doctors that were willing to invest $10,000 each in a partnership. And eventually, this doctor found 10 others, so with him there were 11, and Buffett pooled their money with a mere $100 original investment of his own, and become one of the richest people of our time. Now, let me give you another example, and it's a fascinating book actually to read. In his biography, Anton Rupert's business career spanned over a period of 60 years. He started his global empire with a personal investment of just £10. In today's value, with the bad currency that we've got, that's about 138 Rand. At the time of his death, his assets were estimated at approximately 1.7 billion. Now, if you multiply that at the current rate at just over 9, it's about 15 billion 500 million rands. Now, I don't know if you know how much money that is, but that is a lot of money. And that's not the size of his business, that was his personal assets. Let me give you another example of someone that started with basically nothing. The author of the Harry Potter books, J.K. Rowling, she started off with absolutely nothing. She began writing the series while she was on welfare. Now, what about Oprah? She also started with nothing. And the list simply goes on and on. In fact, I checked the Forbes 500 list of the richest people, and 18 of the top 20 people in the world are what we call self-made billionaires. They started with nothing but an idea, a dream, and they follow the Rainmaker skill. So, what do these people have in common? They started their business with no or almost no money, simply by applying the wealth creator strategy and the Rainmaker skill. But you know what? No one teaches us this skill. They do not even talk about it. So, here's the million-dollar question. Can anyone learn this skill? And if so, how? The answer is yes, but. Okay, but. And it is because of this but that very few people want to learn this skill. The other common denominator all successful business owners have is that they are willing to take full responsibility for all their business and investment decisions. So, if you are willing to take responsibility and want to learn how to start a profitable business with no money, no security, nothing, then I want you to join me in the next lesson where I'm going to explain a fabulous three-step little formula that you can use to start a business in literally any industry. I do not know of one industry where you cannot use this formula to start a business with. I'm also going to give you a step-by-step Rainmaker startup business blueprint that will help you to master the Rainmaker skill in order to start a business in almost any industry with no money. So watch out for the next lesson and I will see you there. Thank you for your time.